Hello and welcome to Happily Ever Reality. I am so glad that you are here. Today we are doing another Sister Wives talk. This is not about a full episode. What actually happened was when I watched the previous episode, which was episode 7, I did not stick around for the end of the show where it shows you what is going to come in the next episode. And it just happened to kind of show up on my Facebook watch. Like the algorithm knows I like reality shows, so most of my Facebook watch and my YouTube shorts and everything comes up with reality TV. Well, I happened to see a post where someone had just shown the ending, like the preview of what's to come. And I was like, how did I miss this? Like, this is so good. I have like a million things to say, and I'm kind of wanting to see what you guys think about what's happening next. It was one of those things that my head just started going. Like, I had all these predictions, but you never know with these ladies and Cody. You never know what's going to happen. So let's just take a little peek at the teaser for the next episode.
Congratulations, you're leaving the family. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say to this.
I have a lot of different emotions about that clip of Mary. At first I was like, are you kidding me, Mary? You can't come up with anything to say to your sister wife? And then this other part of me is like, maybe she is so emotional, she is stumped and doesn't know what to say. But then if you watch further in the preview, we're going to see that they all have a get together, and maybe Mary is like, I really don't want to go to a family get together to sort of celebrate a divorce or celebrate someone leaving. And I can understand that. Like, I 100%, if someone was like, me and my husband are throwing a divorce party, unless they were just like the best, happiest people of all time, I'd probably be like, you know what? I'll just see you guys one-on-one. Like, so maybe Mary is responding to the fact that she doesn't want to show up to a gathering to say goodbye to Christine. What do you guys think? The only thing I can say is the way she said it, like her tone, I don't know. It just came off a certain way. I can't put my finger on it, but there was something when I first watched it, I did not like it.
You are running away rather than being accountable. You're like, I'm divorced. I'm leaving. I'm done with you.
So I am making the prediction that we will see Cody have the same facial expression in the next episode that we saw him have when he couldn't figure out what he was going to say during the wedding. You know that scene where his head was sort of there and he looked like he was on the edge, like he did not look well? I think we're going to see a lot of that in the next episode. We're going to see Cody looking like he is losing what is left in his brain.
We're all here and we can all be here together like the last night that Mom's here in Flagstaff.
So that is a little clip of what appears to be a family gathering at Christine's. For Christine's last night in Flagstaff, I think we're going to see an incredibly awkward, intense get together. You know what? I said it earlier talking about Mary. I don't really get it. To me, I know people be like, oh, I'm such great friends with my ex or whatever. You know what? Sometimes that comes later on. Like, sometimes you need to go take your space from each other, and then maybe you're friends, or maybe you're not. Maybe you just never can commingle again. So I don't know. This just looks so awkward to me. If you guys have ever done this where you've tried to get together with the ex's family as you're separating or something, or if it works out, let me know. That's just something I want to avoid. You know, you don't want bad feelings, but I don't know if I'm going to have a party or a cookout when I'm leaving.
Don't want to see Christine ever again.
I know that he's really angry, and I know that Christine is really angry, but I do hope there's a bit more around him saying that. You know, I know in this moment he may say, I don't want to ever see her again, but maybe his words should have been more like, right now, we need space. We need to go a while without seeing each other. Again, I don't think they need to socialize and have get-togethers, but, you know, they're going to have to see each other sometimes for their kids.
I'm feeling betrayed. I can't imagine what Cody's feeling.
I hope Mary is not talking about Christine, because I'm going to be honest, I don't care what Mary thinks about this. I don't know how you guys feel, but if Mary was interested in Christine and was going to be there as a member of the same family like she was supposed to be, she would have known what was going on, like Janelle does. Janelle doesn't say that she feels betrayed because Janelle was Christine's sister wife. Janelle was acting like she was a member of the same family as Christine and talking to her and calling her. Mary checked out of that relationship with Christine. So now I guess I personally, as a viewer, I'm like, who cares, Mary? You feel betrayed? That's because you didn't pick up the phone and call someone you were supposed to care about. So I hope she's not talking about Christine. That's just ridiculous to me.
Still has marriages with us, and he still has to fix them, or he's going to ruin every single one of them.
He's going to ruin them all. He's going to do that. The only one that I think will stay intact is Robin and Cody's relationship. So I think he's going to successfully get rid of 3 of the 4 wives. Even if it's not this season, that's what I think the future looks like. Unless Mary just holds on, which she's kind of doing. Mary is holding on for dear life, but it's not looking good. Robin's onto something here.
You and I have been acting like we weren't a married couple for most of our marriage, Janelle.
Why is he leaning over into her face like that? I cannot take it. He can sit back in his seat and have this conversation.
If she wanted to move on and marry another, she wouldn't get an argument with me.
So we see him a little bit earlier in Janelle's face talking about how they haven't been living as a married couple. And then we see him telling Mary to go get married to somebody else. He is out of these relationships, which I think most of us viewers know. But man, I wish the wives watched these shows and could hear what he says in the confessionals. I hope the kids do. I hope the adult kids call their moms and are like, hey, we watched the episode and we saw what Dad said. We heard it. We heard what Dad said. And, you need to know. I would want to know if someone was talking about me like this.
Just waiting to see the doctor.
It appears that Robin does get COVID and somehow people in the household get COVID. Here's my thing. I know that everyone who has had COVID, it's a different experience. I was one of the people that had issues breathing. I didn't actually feel too sick otherwise, but it was really scary to have the breathing issues that I had. So I get that fear when you have it. It is scary. But the problem is Robin isn't the first person in the family to have it. And I think the way Cody responds to them initially getting it is going to make a big difference. So imagine that phone call. Janelle calls Cody and says, hey, I have COVID. What does he say? Robin calls Cody and says, I have COVID. What does he say? Does he respond differently to those things? Because it matters. I think it does.
Ever have any empathy for me? When you're in pain, I try to understand you. Janelle, this is a really bad idea for you to walk off on this one.
I can't help but wonder if her walking away has to do with what I just said. Janelle had COVID, the kids had COVID. Now, I know Cody didn't want to get it, but Cody was literally not at all in the household to help her. They could have quarantined in bedrooms. And Cody could have came in the house and helped make sure they were, getting food or that the house was okay. The dogs were okay. Heck if I know. But you get what I'm saying. Cody could have been there. Was he there, sitting there as Robin's caretaker, doing everything for her and didn't do anything for Janelle and the kids? I can't help but think, you find out you have this serious illness and your partner might not have shown up for you at all or said, I need to stay away, but then stayed with the other person and was their caretaker. I don't know. Guys, what do you think about that? Am I being too sensitive? Maybe they're used to this because they're used to kind of sharing a husband, but I think it's weird. I think Janelle's already angry about stuff that's happened, and I think this could just be the tipping point. I also just don't think Janelle wouldn't have cared. I don't think she would have necessarily went over to Robin's house or anything because I don't think they're close. But I think to imply that Janelle doesn't care, I don't think that's true either. She seems to care about everyone in her family. I just don't think her and Robin get along well. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought about that preview of the next episode. If you haven't already, go ahead and click like and subscribe. And be sure to come back to Happily Ever Reality to hear more about your favorite reality TV shows.